On the menu today is a fun one, taco sliders. And you may be asking yourself, what are taco sliders? Well, take some tacos or the stuff that goes into taco and slider buns, and we're going to put those together in a very fun way to have a delicious snack, meal, whatever you want to call it. We have several components to get ready first though, so we're going to start with our cheese. I've got a pound of pepper jack cheese here that I'm going to grate. There is our mound of shredded pepper jack, and let's move on to some more ingredients. So I have a Roma tomato here and a couple honkin' jalapenos. I mean, look at the size of these things. And I want to get these cut up for our taco sliders. Really what I'm doing here is I'm getting sort of a large dice on these. Cut that little spot out. And then for our jalapenos, I'm just going to take the stems off, and we're going to slice these into rounds. Seeds and all. Just like that. Now let's slice up some tortillas and make some tortilla strips. All right, I have 4 tortillas here, and what I want to do is I want to get these broken down and sliced into strips because we're going to deep fry these in just a little bit of oil. Get them nice and crispy. They're going to be a great topping on these taco sliders because this is your shell portion of it. Just like that. Let's head over to the stove and give these a quick fry until they're nice and crispy and golden brown. Right, here are our fried tortilla strips. As they came out of the oil, I hit them with some kosher salt. They're on this rack in this pan, so any grease could drip off. But now we need to get a red onion ready. Now I have a red onion here that's been halved, and I've removed the core. And we're going to do 2 different things here. That's why it's halved. The first is a very simple slice. This is going to be to go on our taco sliders as sort of a garnish, just like that. If you want to cut them more, you can. This works for me. We've got our box grater back again, and what we're going to do is we're going to take the other red onion and we're going to grate it. This is going to go into our taco meat mixture as we cook it. Now, I like using red onion, but you could use white onion, yellow onion, doesn't matter. If any of the pieces don't go through like this, don't worry about it. We can just discard that. Just like that, and I am definitely not crying. All right, now what I want to do is get my buns ready, and I have a pack of 12 King's Hawaiian rolls here. We've all seen these. They're terrific for things like this. And what I want to do is I want to cut across here so I can basically create 2 slabs, a bottom slab and a top slab, because we're going to toast these up in the oven. So I'm just going to work carefully here, take my time. And if you can see, the bottoms are a little thicker than the tops. That's because there is going to be a lot going on this bottom bun. We're going to have lettuce, we're going to have taco meat, we're going to have all those other things we made, so it's going to have to support quite a bit. Now, before I pop these in the oven, which is going to be going at 400 degrees, and usually it takes about 15 minutes or so, and what I like to do is I'll take a sheet pan and I'll preheat it in the oven so it's nice and hot, so that when I put the buns on there, they'll already start toasting. Because I want that inner surface to get a really nice toast on it, but I also want the outside, this part especially, to get a nice toast, because we're going to put some butter and some red pepper flakes on here right now. So I've got some really softened butter here, and I'm just going to brush it on my top buns. I'll sprinkle some red pepper flakes. If you don't like heat, you don't have to do this. But But this isn't a whole lot of heat. It's just a little bit of heat. All right, my pan has been preheating in the 400-degree oven. Let's get our buns on there. It's over. All right, I'm going to toast these up, like I said, for probably about 15 minutes. I like to keep an eye on it. Then we are going to move on to making our taco meat. Our buns are ready. They took about 13 minutes, and halfway through, somewhere around 5 or 6 minutes, I turned this side over so I can get a nice toast on the bottom too. So now we're going to set these aside, and we're going to move on to making our taco meat. All right, I have 2 pounds of ground beef in my skillet on the stove over medium-high heat. So let's head over there, get our seasonings in, and cook up this taco meat. Just want to break this up a little bit in here. This is an 80-20 ground beef. You're going to add 3 teaspoons of cumin, 1 teaspoon of granulated garlic, 2 teaspoons of ground black pepper, 2 teaspoons of kosher salt, 2 teaspoons of smoked paprika, 2 tablespoons of chili powder, half a teaspoon of red pepper flakes, and a half of our grated onion that we did. Really want to give this a good mix. A lot of those seasonings will distribute as the fat renders out. I'm going to let that cook until it's done, stirring every minute or so. And then once it is done, I'll drain off any excess grease. Then our taco meat will be ready and we can start building these taco sliders. All right, here is our slab of King's Hawaiian roll, the bottom side. Let's start building these taco sliders. We're going to start with some shredded lettuce along the bottom here. Now I'm just using components that I would put in tacos. If you have things you like in tacos, add those. You don't even have to do a ground beef taco here. You could do chicken taco, carne asada taco, anything you want. We're just taking the taco and turning it into a slider. Let's try and get good distribution here. If some spills off, it's not the end of the world. Now for taco meat. Spread it around as thick as you want here. I'm not going to put too much because I don't want these to go too high because then I might need a building permit. Do want to try and get it to the edges though. Now for some cheese. And if your meat is hot enough, this should start to melt. If not, or if you want it more melty, just pop it under the broiler for like, 30 seconds. I'm going to do something else here though. Just a second. I'm just going to hit the top here with my culinary torch real quick, kind of the equivalent of the broiler. Give it a little extra meltiness here. Now I want to get some of our red onions on here. We don't need a lot, and you could dice these up. You could put any kind of onion you want on here, but we're going to be slicing these sliders in just a little bit into individuals. So we're going to be cutting right through these onions. But if you want to do a dice on them first, go ahead. If you want to leave them off completely, go ahead. Just a few tomatoes on top here. I think what we're going to do is we're going to give everybody an individual jalapeno on here. Again, jalapeno is totally optional. There's some big jalapenos. Finally, our tortilla strips for our taco shell component. Just kind of sprinkle these everywhere, Get a crunch in every bite. Yeah, I'm not worrying about my cutting board getting messy right now. We'll clean that up later. And we top it. Clean this up a bit. There we go. Taco sliders. Let's cut in and have a taste. All right, let's cut these into some individual sliders here. They are just bite-sized little packages of fun. Let's see. That is a taco in a tiny bun. Aside from being delicious, it's just a fun thing to do, a fun way to make sliders. Taking your tacos, putting them in there. It's just a great way to change up Taco Tuesday or any day of the week.